Hey, welcome back to the workshop. So we're here now for the, I think was probably about the third or fourth installment, covering the fabrication of this dragon's tail. As you can see, I have sort of I have done a little bit while you weren't there, mainly because the camera's at the house and I don't keep it in the workshop, and you know, when I get a spare hour or two, I tend to sort of jump on this, so I haven't always got the camera with me to film. But you're here now. What I've started doing, I've started to open up the scales so that they'll fit properly. I've put a few holes in there. These are just these are just temporary holes. We'll probably spot them over when we weld them, when we decide how we're actually going to fit the baseboard. The purpose of them at the moment is purely so I can screw them down to the bench. Now I've actually done the first four segments, so I got another 3 to do, and then we'll get some welds on there. I've taken the protective coating off, the protective film off, because you know, I tend to forget about it and whatnot, and then it becomes difficult to get off, and you know, so that's off now. It doesn't really matter if they mark, because they're gonna get finished up, and they're gonna be powder coat and whatnot. So I'm not too concerned about any marks in there. Right, what I'll do is I'll get a camera around now, and we'll get these other 3 segments on, yeah, and then we'll get some welds down. Okay, let's go. Okay, well, I don't think that there's going to be a good sort of angle to film this from. So what I'll do is I'll do a few, and then perhaps I'll swap the camera around to this side, and we'll shift it around a little bit so you get sort of a view from a few sides. Now this one, I've got screws in the front, and I popped 2 screws in the back just to hold them down while we dress the other piece into it. You probably notice it's a little bit unusual for fabricators to have wooden benches. There's a very good reason as to why I have a wooden bench, and it's because I couldn't afford a steel one at the time. You know, when I was putting a bench in here, and to be honest, as time went on, it became more and more useful, because you know, I can just screw stuff to it, and you know, it's quite easy. I can take the screws out after. It's really cheap. I can change the top whenever I want. You know, I got sheets of plate here that I put on if I'm doing a lot of welding, you know, that'll carry an earth. So I've sort of left it as it is, certainly for the time being. Also, we do a lot of aluminium welding as well, and for various companies, and you know, when you're moving jobs back and forth across a bench, you know, a steel one is going to tend to scratch this aluminium job. So it's you know, it's got its benefits. You can see a few scorch marks in it, 'cause it's not exactly heat resistant, but so yeah, you know, that's why there's a wooden bench. Yeah. All we're doing, I mean, we're not being too specific about diameters and that sort of thing, because it's, you know, it's more about it looking like a dragon's tail than being accurately dimensioned. Now you probably noticed there, originally when I made them, I made them so that it was the one piece sat inside. Now that's great up here, but it looked a little bit odd down here. So what I've done is I've just dressed it in slightly at the bottom there, so that it doesn't look quite so so odd. So far they seem to be fitting pretty well. Now you know, I've had to open these out, and basically, you know, I just knocked them over a bit of bright bar, you know. So there was a nice sharp edge that brought it round. And all I'm going to do is just lightly. I can't do that, can I? I'm going to have to move the camera a minute, because you're not going to see this, because it's going to be bouncing all over the place. Okay, so that looks like a better angle. Right, where was I? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dress them out, just lightly. So we're going to have to dress them a bit when we weld them. We're going to get a bit of heat into them. And we're getting them a lot flatter. We want to try and maintain a curve in both directions, see. We don't want this to sort of, you know, end up like a 50p piece, because it's going to sort of spoil the look of it a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty much that for that one. We'll just screw the back now. And get our next one. Okay, so what we're doing, really, I mean, they're not fitting too bad, but we're getting the throat. You know, roughly where we want it. And then we'll bring the back round then to suit it. Try not to get anyway, yeah, because it's going to be a pretty boring video looking at the back of my head. Okay, so this, you know, it's going reasonably well, considering the sort of shape. I'm going to have to edit that out. Okay, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but just in by there, we've got a little tiny gap. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe 16th, maybe an 8th, you know, a few mil there. But I'm not particularly worried about that. It's we'll fill that up with weld. That's no problem. Okay, right. So we're ready for the last step now. Ready to get that one in. Put some screws in the back of this one. See, I mean, this is where I spoke in the first video, in the development video, about you know, taking the time when you're developing. I mean, this would probably, I don't know, nearly impossible, you know, without developing it, trying to sort of you know, fudge it up a bit, like, you know, I don't think, certainly if you did manage to, I'm sure there's people out there who can do it, it certainly wouldn't go together this easily. Oh, by the way, next midweek, actually I deleted, well, I didn't delete it, I still got it, but I decided not to release it because I was sort of, I don't know, just making a video just for the sake of getting something out in the middle of the week. So we're probably going to go once a fortnight on that, but it's going to be better content. I didn't want to do it just because I said we'd have something sort of in the middle of the week. I'd rather wait and have something, you know, proper to show you. As it happens, we've got a new Bridgeport head for the mill that we made an adapter plate for. So we've set that up and made a few little Morse tape shanks for it. I should have filmed really the making the adapter plate, but I didn't. It was another one of them things where I had a spare hour and I thought, oh, you know, I'll get on with that. So, but we'll have a look at what the mill's looking like now, and I've got a few new tools, and I got some more tools coming, which should be here in time for the next one. So that it's going to be, always, you know, they're not quite as regular. They should be a little bit more interesting. Okay, so there it is. There's our sort of semi-assembled dragon's tail. I'll come clean now. For all the effort and all the time that I put into making the pattern for this, I sort of dropped the ball a little bit at the end. And it's plain as day in the video. I'm not gonna sort of try and deny it. When I marked the 30mm legs and the folds, I just squared off the end of the pattern. I suppose perhaps I was rushing a bit. I don't know. I didn't think about it. I didn't feel at the time that the legs and the feet needed to be developed into it. But to be honest, they should have. You know, if I was going to do it again, yes, I'd do it. If you can quite see, yeah, you can just see at the back there, I've got this triangle missing, which is, to be honest, it's a real shame that I did something so daft. But I suppose we all do it. You know, we sort of rush a little bit, perhaps, and whatnot, and you know, things like that happen. Now, obviously, I can't let it go like that. So I'm gonna have to put some little triangles in there and weld them in and flush them off the gaps. Unfortunately, it's a bit too big to bridge a gap with weld. So, you know, but there we go. You know, we're only human at the end of the day. There we go. Little bit annoyed at myself for doing that, but there we go. Right. What I'll do, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna use the spare shield this year, and I'm gonna try setting the camera behind the shield, so perhaps you can see the welding actually going on. We'll have a little look at the welding set we're going to be using first. We're going to be using 4043s. Not for any particular reason, to be honest, other than, you know, I happen to have a pile of them here. They're a bit softer than the 5356s, and you know, we're going to have to dress it a bit as we tack it. So hopefully, you know, we'll get a tack on it and dress it as we go, and hopefully they won't crack. So I'll get the camera moved now, and we'll have a look at the welding set that we're going to be using. Okay. Okay, so I'm handheld a minute, so you're gonna have to just bear with the wonky camera work. It's just quickly to show you the welding set. Okay, so it's the Thermalac AC/DC 200 amp. It's a lovely little set. I mean, it's great. It runs a stick as well, so you know, if I'm out and about, I can just chuck it in the back of the van. It's all digital set, so I mean, I'm not going to review the set or anything like that. There's plenty of reviews out there, some good ones as well. So I mean, if you're interested in the set, you know, take a look at the reviews. We got the torch is a thumb wheel torch. I'll be honest with you, I'm not the greatest fan of thumb wheels. I prefer a pedal, but I am going for this particular set. There is a pedal here for the other set, but this is a nicer set, so we're going to use this one. Obviously, we're going to be running on AC. I'm probably going to have the frequency quite high, because I want to keep these welds pretty small and neat, and so yeah, we're going to have a bit of background noise from the HF, the high frequency on you. Okay, so let's get the tungsten changed out. I'm going to be using 2% lanthanated. To be honest, I mean, I used to use gold for everything, you know, and then I was getting a bit of an issue with the tungstens sort of splitting a little bit, so I moved to 2% lanthanated. You know, to be honest, I haven't really found a massive amount of difference, but I got a pile of them here, so I might as well use them up. Okay, so I'll get the camera rig now, and we'll get some beads down. Okay, so we're back again. We got a torch set up, we're all earthed up, ready to rock and roll. I got, I'm on about 100 and 115 amps, something like that. A 2.4 tungsten, blue. This is now, it's a 26 torch, right, with a gas lens. Now, it's, unfortunately, with a gas lens, it ends up as a pretty big, you know, lump. But you know, it's the only one that I got for this set. I got a smaller 16 that I got for the other set. But like I said, I prefer this set, especially for welding aluminium. So I'm gonna have to live with it a little bit. Now, there's a lot of sort of opinions on tungsten preparation as far as welding aluminium is concerned. I always sharpen it. You know, I don't like welding with a balled up tungsten, to be honest. I mean, I know people say, oh, you know, it's gonna ball up anyway, but I'm not going to go and grind the treads off my car tyres, you know, because they're going to wear anyway, you know, so I don't really, you know, see the difference in it. I get on fine with a sharpened tungsten. Obviously, you know, I'm no expert, I suppose, and it's really, you know, what suits you, but, you know, I prefer a nice sharp tungsten. So I'm going to give it a blast now at 115 amps. It may be enough, it may not be. We'll see. Okay, so we'll start off, and I'm just going to tack right on the tips. Yeah, while it's nice and cool. When it gets hot, they can start to melt away. So I'm going to tack the tips. Yeah, and then I'm going to tack right in there, and then I'm going to work my way out. Okay. Right. Okay, one thing I didn't mention is that I got the frequency right up at the moment. On, I think it's on like 120, maybe 140 hertz. Because I want to try and keep it as sort of as tight as possible. Okay, so let's straight up. Okay, so we got one dicky one there, but you know, we'll deal with that. Okay, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. You know, by the magic of video, it's going to look like I was cock on my settings and, you know, and that I didn't have my cleaning action set to 0. I'm liking that actually on the body rather than on the tip, because obviously yeah, so I'm liking that actually on the body rather than on the tip. Before I work my way round, I'm just going to put a tack on the throat. I might build it up a little bit there. the misdirection figured out. It's a little bit awkward to get your power settings just right for this, because obviously we're doing multi-positions and multi-orientations, you know, so we've got lap joints, butt joints, in vertical, horizontal and down, so I'm having to sort of mess about a little bit. I'm having to be quite quick. With the wire in places, because it wants to go away. Might need a little bit more electrode coming out just to get in this little groove in there. So this is going to be a little bit over. Okay, looks like organic. Looks like organic.